Oh, I got your notification and think, hi.
Oh, hi, 0 viewers right now.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's only a joke. I know there's going to be viewers in here soon.
What are you playing? Because you got to do that thing for Brandon, too. Brandon Ash.
That's what this is.
Oh.
Let's get a few people in here. Hello, number one.
What's this from?
That was what the harness and the
Okay.
camera came in.
Oh, cool.
Hello, number one.
Hi, one. Can you share this out, guys?
Give me a few minutes. Let me get this shared out, and then I'll go ahead and start with the and more thing first. Excuse me. Because this is really going to put a damper on us.
While we're getting started, guys, if anybody is in here, I don't know if there is, but
There's one.
Put a damper
on us. Now there's two.
Okay. Can you share this out, guys?
Yes.
For a second. Tweet it, beat it, repeat it.
Like I said, just hold off
Oh, okay. Fine.
a second. Why? What were you gonna say?
I was gonna talk about Parachills, Chris.
Oh.
Okay, guys, we're with a nonprofit organization called Parachills, and they are going to be having a raffle.
February 1st, guys.
Yeah, the raffle goes until the 31st, but then the raffle or the drawing will be on the 1st. You can win 3 pieces of merchandise and a K2 meter. The tickets are only $5 a ticket, but I think it's pretty cool, honestly. And yeah. Also, just if you want to, Chris will probably put the link in the chat about joining our Parachills team. They're a great group of people. Just go to the website and click join and fill out from there, you know. I was trying to give you a little bit of time to do whatever.
Yeah, all I was doing was sharing.
I know. Remember, sharing is caring, guys. Yes, and I know you want to share kisses. I know. I'm gonna. Yes. Okay. Okay,
guys.
Goofy puppy. Goofy puppy. Go.
Now, since unfortunately we're not in lockdown, but we have a person that's here that's going to have to put a pause on any investigation I do. So you guys are going to see me out on the investigations by myself again.
Hopefully not for long, Chris. And no, I don't have COVID, guys. That's not it at all. You're freaking them out, Chris. Just explain to them why.
Severe, move.
My wheelchair broke, guys. I either got to get it done or get it fixed. So, and what Chris said is, it don't even look like there's any way to get it fixed. So, yeah, I've got
Her one side completely busted off her chair.
which
So
sucks.
she's going to be out for a while. She will still be able to do the research side of everything, but she won't be going out with me for right now.
It's not going to be long, I'm hoping, because maybe they can give me a $20 payment plan to buy another chair. I'm hoping. Because I think I might be able to handle $20 a month. I don't know yet, but we'll see what happens.
But yes, she will not be going out with me for right now. So any investigation I need to get done where I was going to go alone, it's the time for me to do it. As soon as she gets back up and rolling around again, even I think we should just push her over and let her roll down the street, but that might be a little painful.
Yeah, because the car might run over me.
But yeah, I'm going to give her probably about a month
Now I'm going to have a chair
before
for
she
them.
gets another chair.
I'm going to get a chair for them.
I need a cup.
For what?
For what?
Hot chocolate.
Wash one.
Too lazy.
Well,
I guess you don't need
need
hot
none.
chocolate, but can you take my cup out?
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you can't use it.
What?
He's going to use it anyway, Chris. You know that.
But yeah. Hey, Coffin. Hey, Thinking.
Hey, thinking and coughing.
But yes, Lady A is out of action. For right now.
Temporarily, I got her talk to my insurance company and see if they can do anything to help or see if they'll put me on a payment plan at the thing. It's almost like buying a car that's so damn expensive sometimes.
I think she should get one that's hot rod.
Yeah, he wanted to get
An
me a
electric powered
you
one
want-
with monster truck tires.
Okay, guys, this is what he wants to do. He wants to get me an electric wheelchair. Going into a haunted location where spirits can drain batteries. He wants me to have an electric wheelchair. I don't think so. Because my leg, they're going to drain the batteries. He's going to take off and leave me stranded. Nope, not going to happen.
with it being purple with hot pink flames and her sunshine and hearts and flowers and all that
No,
on it.
I will not do that.
And we'll let Coffin paint it.
Yep, he can do the pimp my ride.
Yeah, Coffin can do the Pimp My Ride and put a spirit box holder, K2 holder, camera holder, and a digital voice recorder holder. Hey, Whiskey!
Whiskey.
How you doing, Irish?
Oh, Iris. Hey, baby. How are you? I missed you. Hope you're feeling okay.
Her wheelchair broke.
Yeah, it just totally. Cody took me out of the door, and I felt like something on my back, and I'm like, "What the hell?" Well, it kind of like came apart, and then Chris went to take a picture of it and moved it, and it just.
How you been, Irish? Hopefully everything's okay.
God, I missed you, Irish. I've been thinking about you.
Hopefully that laser grid's working still.
Yeah.
The ones I had all quit working on me.
Well, it didn't help that Severe would grab it and chew on it either.
Well, that's true.
if we don't keep them things up, like we, because we had them in a certain spot, which you couldn't get to them, And one day Chris had used one or changed the batteries or something and left it where she could grab a hold of it.
Yeah, light. But yes, that's what's going on with us right now. That is the and more part. But let's not get too much further in it because of her chair breaking.
We'll just see what happens with this. How's that?
The laser grid works perfect. However, my body's not so much. Really wanted to get better and get back in the game. Well, we hope you do. We pray for you, man.
I'm saying love and prayers, honey.
I'm glad the laser grid worked perfectly for you.
I'm just glad to know that you're okay and stuff.
Right.
You know, I've been asking people about you. I'm like, has anybody seen ours?
We've all been asking about you. We are glad that you are able to get back into the live streams.
At least, Irish, I know you're not that much older than me, but you're like my grandpa. Because you remind me of my grandpa.
That was her that said it, not me.
Well, Chris, you come across people that remind you
Of people, I know.
of certain people, and that's who he reminds me of.
Your grandpa.
Yep. What the heck are you doing?
Getting the podcast going of Brandon and Ashley.
You also need to put the Parachoke site in there for the raffle tickets.
I will.
Parachoke is only a raffle, guys. It's $5 a ticket. You can win 3 pieces of merch, and you can also win a K2 meter.
Well, guys, let's not keep this going. Let's get to the main reason why this live stream's running. This is to help promote out Brandon and Ashley's podcast from Ontario's Most Haunted. So, okay, thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry. I don't know what I'm thinking of, but thank you.
I don't know. You do know your white beard there is kind of a symbol of who you are, man.
That's what reminds me of my grandpa.
He has it. If he should go live before he shaves it.
No.
How about you go live and shave it on your live stream?
No, don't save it.
But here we go with the podcast. 2 great people. They work real good together, so here they are, Brandon and Ashley.
Part of Parachoke, guys.
This is Ontario's Most Haunted podcast.
This is episode 4 of Ontario's Most Haunted podcast. Happy New Year! It's 2021, and finally we're out of that shithole that was the year of 2020.
Yes, guys, these are older podcasts.
And over there, which you cannot see, is my co-host Ashley Spurl. Ashley, Happy New Year! How are you?
I'm good, Brandon. How are you?
I am. I'm doing pretty good. Had a pretty quiet New Year's Eve into New Year's. Of course, with the whole COVID thing that's going around, obviously we can't go out and do what I would usually do.
Yeah.
So it was pretty quiet. It was pretty restful. Although we actually ended up having some people shooting off fireworks just a couple of houses down from us. So that kind of made it feel a little more
Look at you.
normalized.
Someone was shooting fireworks right outside my window.
Oh,
It
that's
scared my cats.
yeah, they would do that. Oh well, that kind of sucks. How long did they go on for?
A good 30 minutes, maybe.
That's long enough. You know, nobody's there. You don't really need to do it for that long. And this ain't Disney World.
Yeah, there was a park outside the house, so I really don't know why they chose to do right beside my window.
And I've been to your house. There's like a gate right there. Were they like shooting them off?
Just off
At
on
the
the
gate?
other side of the gate where the parking lot is.
Oh my
So, like,
gosh!
There's my gate.
They had tons of
and then,
room.
like the fence, and they were on the other side of the fence.
They had tons of room to work with. I don't know why they decided to choose right beside your.
I know. It was
You're
annoying.
frickin'. Well, you know what? Besides that, you ended up having a relatively good night, from what I heard. You played some non-alcoholic beer pong,
Yep.
no beer pong.
Yep.
How did that go?
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Whenever we would throw the the ball, it was us going, if I get this in, I get blah 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 blah, or blah 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 would happen.
Mhm.
So that was pretty cool. That was a lot of fun.
So what were the wagers that you placed on each other?
Well, it wasn't even like wagers. It was just like, well, if I get this in, I get my chest tattooed by like 2024 type of thing. Like it was stuff like that by whatever year or by whatever age we'll have this done.
And did somebody record these and write these down so that they're in stone and nobody can back out on them?
I
No.
wish.
Okay, who did the tattoo on the chest? Was that Tristan's idea for you or your idea for him?
That was me. That was me.
You for him?
That was me.
Oh, okay. So what did Tristan end up doing for him?
He said one about getting his eyeball tattooed,
Ow!
and then I counteracted that with, by the time I'm like 28, I'll have my tongue split.
Oh my god. You guys are freaks. Oh my eyes are actually kind of hurting just thinking about that.
Well, he only wants the one done.
What? 0 is too much for me. -1 is good for me.
Come on, you're a tattooed virgin. We have to get you some ink on you.
As long as it's the little the water dye, you put water on it, then you rub on the arm, and then you just peel it off. That's my kind of tattoo.
That's a pussy tattoo. That's made for little girls.
I gotta bring that up.
Well, maybe that says a lot about me then.
Oh, so you're a little girl.
Yeah, let's not get into that. Let's not open up that can of worms. You already have enough ammunition for it. I don't need to give you any more than that.
Brandon's
Oh god. That is a long story that's within our Parachills organization. And you know what? Speaking of which, before the end of the new year, literally right before the end of the new year, we were being told, hey, there's going to be some extra merch stuff coming up to the store. There are going to be extra graphics. And little Miss Ashley over here gets a cartoon face of hers with a graphic that says, what was it, Canadian
badass.
Canadian badass. And I'm not going to lie, you look like a much more badass version of like Daphne from Scooby-Doo in this picture.
I know, I love it.
You look amazing. And
it looks like they added in like an eyebrow piercing to what I have. And it just makes me want to get my eyebrow pierced even more.
Just so that you can match up with your picture.
Well, not even that. I had my eyebrow when I was growing up. I had that pierced for a while.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Yeah. So I kind of want that done again.
So then you got that picture with the eyebrow piercing in it, and again, it's such a cool design. We're gonna end up having to actually post pictures of it on our Twitter and Instagram feeds, and our Facebook feed as well. We got to post a picture of it. It looks so cool. And then
I love it so much.
I, however, don't have anything too fancy, but it's all about the running gag that goes through Parachill's.
Brandon's been probed. Oh, it's so good. You guys have to go check out that line.
And a little backstory to it. I seem to have, when Parachills expanded to bring me and Ashley on, I apparently seem to have been on the Parachills group chat and the database for hours on end, and I actually, not gonna lie, I did go to sleep with my phone open onto the page, so it looked like I was on there 24/7. Well,
you were literally online 24/7.
So God forbid one day I was gone for 2 hours and they sent a search party after me and started, oh my God, yeah, Rev, Shannon Mitchell, Rev. I think her Twitter handle is Rev Critter or Critter Rev, something like that. She's hilarious, but she apparently wanted to send a team of search gerbils after me. I don't understand where that concept came from, but she got a shirt out of that now too. And they automatically end up thinking that I was abducted by aliens and that they probed me while I was gone and all this other stuff. So now, anytime I'm gone away from the Parachills organization in terms of my presence online, they automatically assume that I have been abducted in some way or another by aliens, which is
freaking hilarious.
It's you know what? It is hilarious. It kind of, you know what? Here's the thing. I take jabs at Ashley all the time. Ashley takes jabs at me, but that's because we're kind of like family to one another. The whole group's taking jabs at me. I kind of take jabs at a few people here and there. That's pretty much what we are over there. We're a family, so I'll take their bullshit when it comes to that. I got no choice.
Yeah. You just have to endure it from us.
Yeah, we do, but it would be more endurable if we ended up seeing some of the "We're Here for Brandon" shirts or the "I've Been Probed" shirts or whatever it was. So yeah, those shirts are also available on the Parachills store. We're going to end up posting a link to where you can end up finding that merchandise right here on wherever you listen to podcasts. It will be in the description. So last podcast, we ended up having a very lengthy conversation with Brian from Huntophobia, one of the how would you word them? Co-owners? Partners of the Parachills organization, and that was a very very fun episode to do. There were a few laughs. Referred to him as Santa Claus, even though he is far from. Called you my little elf, and kind of reflected on the year personally of what was 2020, which was fun. Everybody learned a little.
It was a shit show.
Yeah, it was a shit show, but you know what? We got big things coming this year in 2021, and that's what we should be focusing on. And you know what? I just thought about this too. You know how every year, once it hits January 1st, everybody has had such a hard time trying to get used to writing the new year. They kept writing the previous year. I have had no problem not writing 2020 on my work logs at my day job, because I think I was just so done with 2020. I don't want to see that numbering of 2020 again. So I don't know how
I don't want to see it over again either.
So I don't know how others have adjusted, but I've had absolutely no problem switching over to writing 2021 when I got to write the date down. So
I still haven't written the date down, and I normally never write dates down. So it'll be interesting when I go to. I might still be writing 2018.
have you picked up a pen in the last 3 years?
Yes. I
Okay.
write down I use pen and paper almost every single day
Oh, for your research, that's right.
for my research.
Yeah,
But I just don't write the date.
Well, nobody's going to really see it. Nobody's going to care what day it fell on or anything like that, so that's understandable. But yeah, that was last week's episode, and the week before that, we ended up, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The week before that, we ended up doing a little bit of a case study on a ghost at a prison, or a courthouse in London, rather, which was interesting. We had a good conversation about that. So this week, I figured we end up diving back into these case studies of haunted places around Ontario. And as I was looking online, I came across a case that I had never heard of. This was an article that was from the Toronto Star back at Halloween time of 2018. It came out on August 29th. And
October
it is...
29th?
What did I say?
August?
I'm already looking forward to my birthday. What can I say?
Dumbass.
October 29th of 2018.
Can I
And
just interject here? I
Sure.
love how you said, and it totally skipped my mind till now. You said Halloween and then said August.
hey, every month is spooky month for me.
Okay, no, every day is spooky day for me.
Yeah, so Halloween's year round for me. I really don't care what month it is.
Yeah, but still get it right.
When's Christmas Day? It's in March of the 23rd.
Maybe you're just trying hard.
Yeah, I am. I was really stretching on that one.
Yeah.
But back on what we were going to be doing today. Thank you for making me look stupid there, by the way,
You're welcome.
and calling out my flaws.
I have no problem doing that for you. It'll happen again.
Oh, I know that's not going to be the first time. It hasn't been the first time, and it definitely won't be the last.
Oh,
So
fuck
I'm prepared.
no. Good.
Yeah, this was an article from the Toronto Star from Monday, October 29th, 2018. Emphasis on October 29th,
There we go.
for those who are actually paying attention to what I say. It's about a Etobicoke poltergeist. So this is, and
Did
again,
you just say Etobicoke?
I did say Etobicoke.
It's Etobicoke,
Etobicoke.
not Etobicoke.
I told you.
Well, boy, this berating of how I talk is just relentless today. Ashley, are you okay? What have I done so bad that is making you want to bash me to the nth degree tonight?
I don't have a reason. It's just now I'm hearing all these little things and I'm like, no, that's not right.
She's got a checklist now, just of things that she's got, like a bingo board. Every time I screw up something, she's gonna be like dabbing it. She's like, oh, I got that. I
If I
got
had
that. I
that, it
heard
would
him
be
do
bigger
this.
than the walls in my apartment.
Do I screw up that much? Oh. Well,
But
thankfully,
it's not
with-
just screw ups. There's a lot of funny stuff on that board too. Not saying
Oh,
I have a board.
oh, but not saying you're not having a board either,
Exactly.
because you've gone into detail about
Ooh.
the fuck was that?
Me making a ghost sound and then walking through a wall.
You're insane. All right, before Ashley hurts herself or
Fuck off. Let's get
We
on to
are
the story.
yeah, let's go on to it. And thankfully, I actually have a script, so it's not like I'm going to be screwing up what I said. Well, actually, no, there's still a chance.
Yeah.
let's get into it. The spooky Toronto history revisiting the Etobicoke poltergeist. And this is from Brian Rayner, a pop music critic for the Toronto Star. While you might never have heard of the Etobicoke poltergeist, there was a moment in Toronto's history when this mischievous ghost was something of a local celebrity. This year marks the 50th anniversary of one of the spookiest episodes ever committed to local lore. And this apparent haunting at the hulking clapboard farmhouse in Etobicoke's Sunny Lee neighborhood has still never been properly explained. Whatever ultimately was responsible for the creepy happenings, natural or supernatural, it succeeded in eventually driving 2 families out of the house. The house was definitely haunted, says John Downing, then an assignment editor at the Toronto Telegram, who spent several nights at the ghost house in company of Telegram reporter John Galt and got to know the fraught families who lived there very well. Galt and I, to this day, believe there was something there. Downing, now 82 and retired from illustrious journalism career that saw him leaving the Telegram to serve as one of the first editors of the Toronto Sun, initially became interested in the story because he lived and still lives a few blocks away from the house in this affluent, leafy Etobicoke neighborhood, not far from the sprawling Park Lawn Cemetery grounds. The residents of the upstairs flat in the house, Newfoundlanders Roy and Carol Hawkins, and their 3 young children had been so tormented by bizarre happenings, unexplained footsteps up in the attic, disembodied screams and maniacal laughter, sudden dips in temperature, and chilling incident where the house cat, Fluffy... Sorry, I laugh every time I hear of a house cat named Fluffy. Had been flung against the wall by an unseen force. Oh, I'm not laughing now.
Funny.
No, I'm not going to laugh now. Oh my god.
No.
Fluffy had been flung against a wall by an unseen force that they'd moved downstairs to live with Carol's parents, Albert and Sarah Cracknell, and their 10-year-old daughter. Downing and Galt thus occupied the top floor for a few nights in May of 1968, sprinkling the floors with flour and rigging up a network of strings attached to little bells to satisfy themselves that no human pranksters or invading animals were skulking about. It wasn't long before they too heard mysterious footsteps walking in circles in the attic. More alarming, on several occasions they experienced the temperature out indoors suddenly plunge down to freezing, so you could see your breath, then you'd hear the furnace come on. A pair of ministers from the Star Progress Spiritual Church, the Reverend Tom Bartlett and his wife Pat, were invited to perform an exorcism in the attic, which, during Downing says, a strange brown blob started bouncing around in the darkness. 2 newsmen were also there on the night chronicled in the May 9th edition of the Toronto Star, when more than 200 rowdy youngsters and morbidly curious adults, titillated by rampant local media coverage of the bizarre going-ons, converged on the property shouting for the ghost to show itself, and had to be dispersed by police. Downing recalls inviting the young constable left to stand and watch outside and for a hot drink during the wee hours. The nervous officer declined the invitation to venture up into the attic and to check it out for himself. Oh, it was quite famous, Downing says of the ghost, which merits its own entries in the author John Robert Colombo's book Haunted Toronto and Mysteries of Ontario. Half the neighborhood wanted to lynch me for ruining real estate values, and the other half would corner me at the neighborhood parties and ply me with beer and talk to me by the hour. What made the whole thing very credible was a young couple living on the 2nd floor who moved out as a result of all of this and went to live on the 1st floor. They believed that the ghost didn't happen, and if you believed in ghosts, you were either crazy or mentally ill. So it really bothered them, and this changed their lives. The Hawkins and the Cracknells eventually fled the house for more peaceful digs, for a time leaving the late Archie Nishimura, then a young English teacher living in the basement apartment, as the sole tenant. His son Richard, an Ottawa lawyer, says he often heard stories about the haunted house from his dad while growing up. The people who were living there were genuinely frightened, he said. That was about a year before he got married, and I'm still pretty sure that my mom was pretty scared to go into that house, too. I doubt she ever stayed overnight when she was living there. Nishimura actually never encountered the poltergeist himself, Richard says, despite conducting his own amateur paranormal research with flower and strings strung with bells with a friend for a couple of nights. And the ghost appears to have moved on as quickly as it arrived. The house's current owners declined to participate in this piece, but they did say they've never experienced anything unusual within its walls. Perhaps that exorcism worked. Okay, I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
And I'm asking this based off of the knowledge or the assumption that they didn't understand how the paranormal really worked. If they are living on the second floor in the same unit, in the same house where this activity is happening up in the attic or the second floor, did they really think that they were going to be that safe if they moved down to the first floor?
Why?
Because
Like, I can see why they did it. Like, especially back when it did happen. Because I'm assuming this was like years.
this was back in the 60s.
Yeah. So back then, if you believed in paranormal, you were like the article said, you were either mentally ill or you were crazy.
Right.
So they probably thought they were going crazy, and just to stop them from going crazy, they moved downstairs.
But wouldn't you not want to move out of the entire house?
That's hard to say.
Because that's
They were probably if they owned it, then it's hard to say, because then who's gonna buy a haunted house? Especially back in that day.
okay. Because I was gonna say shit, I would, and I know you would too.
I've lived in haunted houses.
Yeah, I mean, well, I haven't had the luxury of doing that, but I mean, you know, hell, I would buy a haunted house today, but
Yeah. But like back in that time, it was you had issues
yeah,
if you believed in this stuff. So for that, I believe that even for them just to put down the flower and make the strings with bells on them, doing their own like little individual paranormal investigation.
mm-hmm.
If anyone else would have seen that, they probably would have gotten lynched, or at least some like ridiculed or something.
Oh no, I definitely agree with you there. I'm definitely not disputing that. Let's go.
So they probably didn't want it advertised at that time that this was going on. That's why they didn't move out right away.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting. They didn't want to end up advertising it, but they said they had mass crowds of people that showed up at the house, and they actually had to get police involved to keep people away because they had people yelling, "Hey, show yourself, ghost!"
Probably because they didn't believe it and they wanted to see if it was being faked.
That's true. That's a good point. And again, this was the 60s. If you saw that today, people would actually believe that there was something going on, and
For the most part, yes.
they would want to end up seeing or having the entity or whatever show itself. So let's go over the incidents that ended up taking place while the family was there. So Roy and Carol Hawkins, their 3 children, were being tormented by footsteps in the attic, disembodied screams, maniacal laughter, sudden dips in temperature,
their cat getting thrown against a wall,
and their cat being flung against a wall. How?
Poor cat. I feel so bad.
I mean, you could tell that I never read this before because I just saw the name Fluffy and I started laughing and I did not know what I was about to read. So now I feel like a dick.
Yeah, I'm condemning you to hell for that.
I feel like a complete dick for laughing at that.
Good.
Oh,
As you should.
yeah. So, but with those things happening, besides. Here's the other thing I don't understand, and I understand because of the time when this was taking place. But from the other aspect of what I know now, I don't understand this other aspect. It's all of these things were happening, and obviously it was a poltergeist. If an animal is being attacked, nowhere did it really say that it was anything demonic, but yet they wanted to perform an exorcism in the attic.
Just to get rid of it. You can do an exorcism with a poltergeist, I believe.
But wouldn't that just be like a regular cleansing?
No,
Oh, really?
not to my knowledge. A good person to ask that would be Rev.
That is a good. That is actually a good question. Maybe we'll bring her on.
Let me message her now, and I will find out.
All right. Yeah, while you do that, let her know she is an impromptu text message guest on the podcast right now. And you know, it's at the end. I mean, something must have ended up working, because they ended up saying that whatever ended up happening once this family ended up moving in afterwards, that or the current owners, which was 2 years ago, ended up saying that nothing unusual has been experienced. They have not had any weird happenings in the attic, no weird happenings on the second floor. So I'm assuming that whatever they ended up doing pushed this entity out of the house. So
Yeah.
here is my question for you pertaining to this story. How far would poltergeist act? Because I know you and I can handle a lot. We can deal with a lot if it was happening to us. But to what point, if you had a poltergeist at your residence, would you end up saying, okay, this is too far. I'm gonna have to call somebody in. I'm assuming for you it would be seeing your animal being flung up by an invisible force toward a wall.
Yeah, either my animal being flung up against something because all hell would break loose,
Right.
or if I wake up with bruises around my neck.
Yeah, I think that would end up doing it for me. If I woke up with scratches, probably not. I don't think that would end up doing it yet for me.
Okay, so we have an answer.
Already.
Yes, she said that she asked me a question. She said, "Is there a possession involved?" Which I said, "No, there's not." She said, "Then no, it's basically the exact same thing."
So it would be basically just a cleansing.
No, it's an exorcism.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you heard it from the professional, a reverend / medium. We have to get Rev on the podcast at some point.
Yeah,
That would be fun. She is an absolute sweetheart. She's very knowledgeable of the paranormal. I think she would be an amazing guest to bring on. Now here's the thing that actually kind of shocks me. They had children in the home. How come? I'm just curious as to how come this entity or whatever didn't prey on the children. Because you hear in most cases, if something is like this intense, especially when you look at The Conjuring, not only the Conjuring movie and the story behind The Conjuring, yes, it ended up going after the mother, but it affected one of the daughters as well greatly. It seems like there's always that connection with an entity trying to attack kids or trying to terrorize kids physically, or even if nobody is around, trying to make their focus known towards that one child. I didn't see anything here about them focusing on the one child or one of the children. So do you think that that's because it's just that powerful? It just doesn't give a crap that it's going to make itself known to the entire family because it owns that space? or did it just think that the cat was an easy enough target and went after the animal?
It could be that. It could have also have been because it didn't have enough energy or anything like that to hurt a human.
That's fair.
A cat is a little bit weaker than a child.
Right.
And it's a lot lighter than a child, so they're easier to toss.
No, that's a fair point. I didn't really end up thinking about the weight aspect and the amount of energy it would end up needing, so that's a good point. But the one thing that's just a mystery that's never really explained is how did this entity end up there in the first place? Like,
it's a poltergeist. They go where they want.
But something like this seems like it would... I just feel like either somebody had lived in this house a long time ago before them and was just not a very nice person and hated company and didn't want any company around or whatnot. It could be that.
I mean, it's possible.
It could be that, or could... And I'm going out on a limb here. I don't like going to this extreme, which is why I usually don't, but could somebody have summoned it through like playing with like a Ouija board or something like that?
Again, back then, like, it's hard to tell because either you're sick in the head or you're crazy for believing in this stuff. So it's a little hard to believe that they would have gone out of their way to have played with Ouija board or done any type of summoning.
That's a fair point.
Because, like, if someone found out, at least back then, that if they were doing this, could you imagine what their neighbors would have thought?
Oh my god. They probably would have thought they were batshit crazy, had no affiliation with them whatsoever, and...
Exactly, like, I can't see them going out of their way to do something like that.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that is definitely a fair point. Yeah, interesting piece of history here in Toronto that I had really no idea about.
I didn't know
There
there
might
was
be some there.
poltergeist at all.
No, this. And by the way, for those who don't know, the Park Lawn Cemetery grounds, it's a decent sized cemetery. It's not too big, but it is one of Toronto's oldest cemeteries. I think the oldest one is Mount Pleasant,
Yeah,
which is
a gorgeous cemetery.
it's so big though.
Did you see the mausoleums built right into the side of the cliff?
Yeah,
and those are gorgeous.
It's very eerie though. Like,
I know, I love it.
It's kind of creepy.
I've been there once, and I've been dying to go back ever since.
Have you really? I've never been there actually. Like, I've driven past it, but I've never actually gone in there before.
I've been there once.
And what was that for?
Yeah, I've been there once. Someone I dated in high school, one of his relatives was buried there. So his mom took us through the entire place to look at it.
And how long did that take?
Gorgeous.
How long of a walk was it?
Oh, we drove.
No, I mean like a walk.
We weren't walking.
Oh wait, so you just drove through the cemetery then?
Yeah,
like through the through the path.
Parked, we got out. We did what we had to do with his relative's gravestone.
Yeah.
Tombstone, whatever. And then we got in the car and kind of drove around. We got out when we seen the mausoleums, so we could walk up to those and like look at them. But that was really it, and I've been dying to go back ever since. That's been almost 10 years now. Jesus, fuck, I'm old.
Don't you love it when once you start talking about things in your past and it just clues into how long ago they actually were?
No, because in 2 years I would have graduated high school 10 years ago.
Wow.
Oh fuck! Why did I say that?
because this is a podcast and this is where you share your feelings, you share your experiences and your past, and we can all relate to it. And you just decide to open your mouth up and expose your age.
I didn't even mean to. Oh, I don't care about my age. I rock my age.
Nah, you
No one guesses my age.
yeah, you
Everyone thinks I'm younger
yeah, but hey, I'll tell
or
you.
I'm older.
No, I'll tell you right now, you definitely look good for 35. So,
Okay, if I graduated high school almost 10 years ago in 2 years, how does that make me 35?
well, it depends if that school had anything to do with a technology degree, because your tech skills are not the greatest.
No, that was from high school, Brandon. High school.
Hey,
So unless I'm like very like horrible with learning, that means I would have graduated like this year
okay, so
because I'm 25 now.
okay, yeah. So for the record, people, she is not 35. She is.
No, and I will beat the crap out of you for saying it.
She is 20.
Not really.
Yeah, you will.
She was last time.
No, I won't. Maybe just a smack on the head.
But that's a normal thing. You got to come up with something worse. I'm used to that
Do you
now.
want a kick in the nuts?
Oh no, that for a guy is an entire system reset. That's like a
my
hard
God.
shutdown on a computer. Once that happens, he's done. He's in shock. His brain has blanked. Then it takes a little while for the reboot to come back after he stops panting.
I'd like to see Brandon, and this is only towards you, not any other males listening in. Brandon,
Yeah.
I would like to see you go 7 days on a period. And see how much your body will reset afterwards.
That
And
No.
may I remind you, men are very different from
Well,
women. That would be a very small hole to shove something into.
oh my god. Boy, this podcast is definitely taking a turn.
Yeah,
we
if you want to cut that out, we can.
oh no, that's staying in there. That's staying
Oh
in.
God, okay.
We're keeping that in there. Oh my god.
Hi, Dad. I'm sorry.
Does your yeah, okay? You know what? Honest question. Do you have any friends or family that actually listen to the podcast?
Yeah, I do.
So your
I
dad?
don't know if my parents do because I don't think my dad has Spotify. I know my mom doesn't,
Oh,
but I'm pretty sure like my stepbrothers listen to it.
oh. Well, now you've just given them something to think about.
I could do much worse to them, but they'd probably end up sitting on me and then tickling me until I die.
How old is your stepbrother?
Both of them. So they are 2 years younger than me.
Oh, so they too would
2 or 3
understand
years,
how painful that would be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to experience a period. No, that's okay. How did we get to that point?
Okay, so my oh, it doesn't even say here, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know
Can
how
you
old my
close the
stepbrothers
door?
are.
Chris. Chris.
That's okay. That's no worse than forgetting your own birthday, like what I ended up doing.
I do that all the
Chris,
time.
It's going right.
And I'm at the point I really don't end up caring. It's like
She's
you're getting
outside.
1 year closer to
Chris, she's not
Death?
there.
to the bright light.
No.
Or
You're
for
getting
me,
you're
the,
getting 1 year closer to the
or for me
afterlife.
the fires of hell. For me.
Oh. But yeah, that's I don't know how to segue back into what we were talking
So,
about with that.
demons
But
and
yeah, that
ghosts.
was
Have at them.
Demons and Ghosts and Toronto Poltergeist and
Actually,
the Park
very
Lawn Cemetery.
I've never been to the park lawn. I do want to go back to Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, I wish I could say I want to go back to the Mount Pleasant Cemetery, but I would love to go there for the first time.
It's gorgeous.
You know what I want to do that people haven't done this in ages, and of course there's benches in cemeteries because people go there to to walk.
Yeah.
They go there for the scenery. They go there literally because it's so peaceful and quiet there. And
That's why I used to hang out in cemeteries in high school.
for some reason back in the day, back in when this was a thing, back in the 60s and the 50s, people would actually go and like hold picnics at cemeteries and hold lunches, and
I've still seen it
I
to this day.
I want to bring that back. During this spring or summertime, or maybe even the fall, I want to bring that back. Go out there,
Yeah, that would be nice.
go out there, have a lunch or a picnic, like order a pizza, make sandwiches,
Yeah.
do something, lay a
Do
blanket,
something.
lay a blanket down, and just, and because here's the thing, like I believe there are some people there who have been buried there who don't get the company of their family as often as they would like, as often as they
Yeah.
should. So going there and just being amongst everyone there and just enjoying your time, being good company, there's something about that I just really, really admire. There's something about that I really, really love. So I would definitely love to end up going out there and like having like a picnic or whatnot at a cemetery. I think it would be so fun.
Hey, why don't we do that? Go grab Kathy.
Hey,
Once like all this is said and over and lockdown's done and the weather's nice again, we can all go down to Mount Pleasant.
I love that idea.
Even do like a little EVP session down there.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun. That sounds like a good plan. I like
Right?
that.
That would be awesome.
That would be really awesome. So that's a plan. That's what we're going to end up doing during the summertime or springtime. We're going to end up bringing our senior investigator, Kathy Reed, who is like I said, a senior investigator of Ontario's Most Haunted. She's obviously way busier with her other work, especially during this COVID times where she's in a long-term care facility. So she has to be extremely, extremely careful about what she does outside of the workplace. So that's why we don't want to pressure her into coming onto this podcast or whatnot. But eventually we'll get her on. She is funny. She is an amazing
great.
person. She's great.
She's like me, but better.
It doesn't fare well for me though.
Brandon knows his truth, so he doesn't want to say anything.
That's why I'm complimenting her as much as I can. So I get. Oh, what the hell am I talking about? She's an old biddy.
Oh, shut the fuck up. She is not. Kathy, you're wonderful. I love you.
You know what? There's a reason why on my Disney Plus account she's listed as Aunt Kathy.
Exactly.
Because
Don't call her an old biddy, or I'll call you an old grandpa.
just because I have back problems doesn't make me an old grandpa.
Would you like a cane with that?
Sounds like a fast food restaurant question. Would you like fries with that?
I will beat you with a cane.
So actually,
And then I'll give you the cane to use after I beat you with it.
you know what? That's a bit of an upgrade from the
Sounds
chair
kinky.
that you're going to end up beating me with. So
No,
I'll
because it'll
take
be
the
a
cane.
very heavy cane.
Oh,
It'll be like
I was kind of hoping it
one
was
of
just
the
like
old school canes. Instead of how it curves, it'll have something on the top, and that's what I'll beat you with.
Yeesh. No thanks. It's too painful to think about.
That was such a stoner laugh. I'm so sorry.
So before this podcast, Ashley just ended up getting off of the Pineapple Express train, and
No, I did not. That's after. That is before I eat dinner,
all
and after I
right,
eat dinner, and before I go to bed.
all right.
Definitely not when I have important things to do, because then I'm like space case. I don't pay attention. I zone out very, very fast. So it's not a good thing for me to be doing
Yeah, that's a good point,
while
especially
I'm doing something important.
especially this podcast,
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be a good
because this is
thing.
the most important thing you have all week. No, actually, it's not. You got a lot of other.
I wouldn't say the
important stuff
most
you're doing.
important thing, but like one of them.
So before we sign off for the night, I do want to end up bringing up a couple things. So next week we're going to be interviewing Chris Edgecombe. He is the founder of the Parachills company. He was one of the reasons why this expansion ended up happening. He is one of the bigger forces as to why this company is becoming so successful, why me and Ashley have a part of it. Of course, Brian Laverty ended up helping with that as well, but this really couldn't have ended up happening if Chris never created Parachills. So he'll be on with us next week. But what I do want to end up mentioning is right now there is a fundraiser raffle happening with the Parachills, easy for me to say, organization, where basically it's to help us improve some of the departments that we have and get new departments like missing persons department, where we actually investigate cold cases or missing persons cases, other elements outside of what's paranormal. One of the but then also just to help us with our paranormal side as well. So one of the things that you can end up doing to help is if you end up going to parachills.com/contests, there is a raffle that is going on, and basically what you do is you pay $5, and what ends up happening is the lucky person whose name ends up being drawn from this, you would end up winning 3 pieces of any merch from the Parachills store. So that means you can end up getting Ontario's Most Haunted merch. You can get Huntophobia merch. You can get Rev Critter merch. You can get one of our other good pals, Lex from the UK. His merchandise. You can get Parachills merch, and then you can also get Ashley's Canadian Badass merch.
And Brandon's I've Been Probed shirt.
And we're here for Brandon, the alien thing, blah, 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 yeah. And so you can end up getting all of that stuff. You get 3 pieces of merch from anywhere in the Parachills catalog. And
you pick them out.
You pick them out. It's off of your choice. And you end up getting your own K2 meter to kind of start building your paranormal equipment, your kit, your little package of what you go carry around with when you go investigating. You can start to build one of those with your very own K2 meter, and this contest is going on all January long. So if you want to end up getting your spot in to the raffle, like I said, go to parachills.com/contests, and you will find the link and the information there on how you can end up getting your hands possibly on some of those and helping us out as well. And like I said, they're going to new divisions that are opening up within Parachills, like a missing persons. We got some cold case stuff outside of the paranormal, but those donations are going to help aid the paranormal aspect of Parachills as well. So all around, it's helping the company grow with your help, and
we couldn't do without your help.
Yeah, we can't end up doing it without your help and your support. So it really does mean a lot to us. So go check out the website. Go donate, get a spot in the raffle, and yeah, best of luck. Ashley, anything you want to add on to that?
If you guys buy merch, make sure that you take a picture of you wearing it.
Yes.
Post it to Instagram, Twitter, wherever, and use the hashtag Parachills for us to see it.
Yes. Yes.
Because I want to see you guys wearing my Canadian Badass stuff. Let's go.
I'm not going to lie. It is probably one of my favorite designs.
Oh, mine too, easily.
I praised it earlier in the podcast, and I'm going to praise it again. You look like a badass gothic version of Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
Which
love
I
it.
Pretty much am.
Which you pretty much are, yeah.
That's what my job is.
Yeah, so that's right. You go hunting for ghosts, and you're the better looking one of the crew. So that's yeah. I mean, comparison to me, I mean anybody's good looking, but
I'm not gonna say you're a toad or anything.
No, but the fact that that's the first thing that came to your mind when you said, "I'm not going to say it," but I thought about it.
So
I
basically,
didn't
what
know
are you
what
saying?
other
He's
word
Shaggy of
to
the
use to
group?
describe you.
So you
Scooby.
use a toad,
Something that you're not.
a green slimy looking thing that carries disease.
Hey, toads are cute.
Oh, okay. I accept it then.
It's not you.
I accept it.
There you go. There you go.
Alrighty. Well, that was a fun episode. Got to learn about a creepy place in Toronto that we never really knew about, and I think they said the house still stands. We know the area. We know the area that it is in, so we now have another little cemetery to go visit. And
But also, don't go creeping these people's houses, please.
Oh yes, definitely.
Please do not show up being like, I want to see the poltergeist. Do not do that. Please respect their privacy. Please leave them alone. If they say nothing's going on, that is the end of the story. Do not bug them. That's all I have to say about that.
And that comes from the angry side of Ashley, because she was getting really riled up there. But I agree, 100%. Leave these people alone. They did end up saying in the article that nothing else has happened. And whatever they did, it worked. There's no need to go knocking on doors to see which house it was. Just leave the people in that area alone. If you want to go look around at a place that's nearby, go to the Park Lawn Cemetery and just kind of walk around, but be respectful of the area as well when you end up going. That's really all I have to say. Ashley, anything you want to finish the podcast off on?
No.
No, that's simple enough. Perfect. Very, very blunt and matter of fact.
Exactly.
So,
I am starving. I am ready for dinner because it's 8:00 at night.
ooh, yeah, it's 8:00 right now at the time of this recording. And you know what? Just out of curiosity, what might you be cooking up for dinner?
I think we're ordering in burgers because we lazy stoners.
Fascinating.
But we do cook the majority of the time.
Oh shit!
I will say that we use
And
a
you do.
company that we get all our food from. It is amazing. It takes like 45 minutes, not even, and
Yeah.
it's amazing food.
Yeah, the food I've seen you guys put together is really good. So now I think I'm going to go get myself some food now too, because you are making me hungry.
Good.
That
Nom 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 nom.
that is it for Ontario's Most Haunted Podcast. If you want to end up supporting us, please subscribe to the podcast. Comment, leave comments in the iTunes. Oh, by the way, just want to end up mentioning, not only are we on Spotify, but we're on Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts as well. So you have a ton of ways where you can end up listening to us and subscribing. If you want to end up seeing or helping us get the word out, please end up not only commenting on the Apple Podcasts, but also share it with your friends, subscribe, again, to get the podcast out. If you want to follow us on social media, you can end up doing so on Twitter at OMH_Brandon, at OMH_Ashley, at official_OMH. You can end up finding us those three ways on Twitter, Instagram, Brandon_OMH, Ashley_Spurrell, and that is SPURRELL.
Oh wow, you
And
got
then
it right.
I did get it right. And then, of course, our main page, official OMH, on Instagram as well. You can end up finding us up on the Facebook, as the Facebook. Find us up on Facebook as well. Just search up Ontario's Most Haunted, and you can end up finding us there. And we are slowly in the development of putting together our YouTube channel. We do have a couple things up there. Of course, you got a video version of the podcast, not seeing our faces, but it is a video version of our podcast up on YouTube, as well as one of the experiments from our Randonautica test, our first little task with Parachills. That is also up on our YouTube as well, so you can go and check those out. That is it until next week, where we ended up interviewing Chris from Parachills. Hopefully, you guys can end up joining us for that podcast as well. We appreciate the love, we appreciate the support. Keep it coming in, and that'll be it for myself. My name is Brandon. That is Ashley over there, and we will talk to you guys again next week.
Stay spooky and stay safe.
I like that. I like that.
Okay, that was episode what, number 4?
Yep.
Next week we will be playing their number 5, and not only that, we are going to have at least Brandon from Ontario Most Haunted up.
I'd like to get Ashley in here too.
He's trying to talk her into it, I guess.
They are so funny together.
And I just had to bring up one thing in that one.
Like about him being scared or something like that.
About him thinking that Die Hard is not a Christmas show. It happens during a Christmas party and everything. Next thing he's going to say Lethal Weapon wasn't even a Christmas movie. But it happened during Christmas time as well. But until next week, we will have Brandon up here at least. Hopefully we can have Ashley as well, which would be very exciting. Then there would be 2 people to argue with him about Christmas movies.
I'm neutral. I don't care. I would say Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
I know, right?
Just like Die Hard, Lethal Weapon.
Well, that's an action Christmas thing.
But still, it's a Christmas movie.
I kind of like the scary comedy.
And possibly even, as Ashley said on their 25th of December podcast, Ted. With the whole Thunder Buddies thing. So, with that being said, guys, we will see you on the next one. Remember, I will probably be doing their podcast hopefully about 7 o'clock, if not 8. It depends on how busy we get. And we'll see y'all later. Much love to each and every one of you guys. Peace.